So welcome back, boys, girls and other, to another fun-filled episode of fixing broken junk that somebody else has bought me. In this episode we have, as you can see, a 2,000 gallon West dual spreader, and it is in today for a new rotor because the old one doesn't have any of the rotary bits left on it really, and I'm just going to be replacing the rotor. There are a few other jobs that need doing, but we'll gloss over those as they'll be a bit boring for the video. What I'm going to do is take all the panels off and then take all the chains off, and then we'll get into it. Now I bet there's not one man here that's used a West before that hasn't smacked themselves really hard in the bollocks with that bar before, because obviously it's sprung loaded with the deck floor, and it's always when you got half a breeze block wedged under the rotor and it's a Friday afternoon and you're covered in shit. That top hood was completely rusted solid, so I had to beat it violently with a sledgehammer for a little bit and then get at it with the angry spanner, as you can see, and then it eventually gave in and came off. So now that hood's on, off, you pillock. Why we're putting a new rotor in this one. You can get the flights separate, but I think this one's a bit past it. I will have to just clean all that off and have a sweep up. But next thing to do is take the bearings off either end. I don't know whether I'll take that bottom flap off or not. Over here we have the new one. This was supplied by the customer. They bought that, and new bearings. I think I said that. New bearings here. We will also be replacing those. He just wants me to get them out because they should look like that, and there's 4 of them and 3 of them have snapped. So that needs doing. He also wanted to have a look at the brakes because the springs weren't returning, but that's just put a bigger spring on. Yeah, that's about it so far. I'll just carry on taking those bearing offs. I'll have a tidy up and then do that. Ow! Oh, it would be, wouldn't it? Edit me, edit. No, I didn't spend about 10 minutes just swanging the hammer at it for no reason at all. Same again the other side. Same again with that one. And then that rotor should pretty much come out then. I don't know why they do that. Little tiny screw that you're never going to get out. Yeah, that's what that plate is. I lied. We've actually got to get this bar off. Wait, I'll do that. Yeah, you get the picture. Jesus. Ta-da! Now what I'll have to do is just clean up all the mating surfaces where these plates go, just chip the rust off them. While that's out, might have a go at those. Just remember I said about the kickers. I said about those. And then also, I don't know if you can see, he said about the door doesn't actually quite shut properly because there's a bit in the top that's bent in a bit. But while the rotor's out, getting there a bit easier basically. So yeah, you compare that to the new one. That's fairly mangled. That pressure wash your gear at the end of the year properly, not just a bit. But he does, the bloke whose spreader this is, he does a lot of dung anyway. They've got about 400 acres, so 400 acre farm. So it's a lot of poo to be spread. And I've no doubt there's a few stones gone through that. But when you're loading in a field, you can't really help that. So yeah, marvellous. So it's now January the 8th. I have stopped doing on the spreader because a friend of mine, his wagons had a bit of a calamity in that that bearing there, not that one, but that size, has given up, and this is all that's left of it really. So this is in here in the workshop at the minute. Kuhn, being as clever as they are, have made that bearing literally one of a kind in that it's a really random size, so we've had to try and find a bearing that will match. We have come across one. Whether it will match directly, I don't know, because we haven't got it yet. The original Kuhn one, if you want a proper Kuhn one, is £902, and it will take 4 to 6 weeks to come from America. And obviously it's January, cows need feeding because it is a feeder wagon. It's a 1060. Bearing has arrived. This has just come in. And at first I thought, oh god, it's different. And I took that off and I thought, it's the same. Because this is irrelevant. This wasn't on the original one. But yeah, this is the interlude on the west spreader. But I thought I'd just show you that because it is quite interesting. I haven't done a video on this one just because I really needed to get on with it. And most of the time when I'm working this far at the front of my workshop, it's really dark. And it was dark when I was doing it. But everything up here is just enormous, like sprockets. Obviously it's not a very big sprocket, but it's very wide. The chains are massive. The chains are that big that they're bolt-in links, which to be fair would make life a lot bloody easier really, if they were bolts instead of faffing with a split pin. Yeah, as soon as this is done, it will be this will be gone, and then I can get the west back in. Yeah, wish me luck with this. So I've got these shafts cleaned up. I've knocked off all the rust off either side. I've got all the plates ready to go on. So what I'm going to do now is just lift this in by hand and put the bearings on. Well, you didn't think I was being serious, did you? That thing weighs a ton. Right, here we go. There we go. Make sure you have a grease nipple on the outside as well. Next, that one, then another little spacer, and then the sprocket. Now I'm fairly sure that went with the teeth outwards. It's not difficult to get that one off anyway. Woodruff key, the bugger will go in. And then obviously that circuit on the outside, wherever that is. And then the chain, and then you're done. But remember, tighten all the bolts up as well. There, that's in now. All the bearing grub screws are tightened up. Spins quite freely, that does. Get the chain on and then shut the door, and I think we'll give it a little test, because we love a test, don't we? Right, so I'm going to put this chain on now. Fairly simple. Remember, everything is a hammer if you use it wrong enough. That is on, and I can't remember whether I showed you or not, but how you adjust this one and this one, but it is mainly this one, is there's this screw here, screw that one in, and there's 4 bolts on this whole bit here, and it just slides this that way. That should tension this one too, but there is another tensioner here if you look, so. And then this big one at the back, where's that one? That's here, that tensioner is for that one. Oh, and while I've got my little orange mitts in, if you're a mechanic and you're looking for better gloves, get yourself some Gator grips, because oh my god, these things are amazing. They've got little grips on them, and they're like a million times thicker than those useless blue ones that I used to use. And they're just, you can just do a job and not worry about them breaking. So I bought myself some of these off of Amazon. Perfect example here. See, that one's tight, and then this one's still really loose, so I'll do this one separately. They're probably getting to the point where they're a bit worn out, but that's not my decision to make, really. These back ones are sods, because you can put as much oil on those as you like, they'll still just go rusty like this. It's the same on all of them. And my Richard Weston's exactly the same. This one's doing it. I don't know why, but they do. But anyway. Grease those bearings as well while we're playing around like this. You see how much of a difference it's made just putting a bit of oil on the chains. I have completely lathered this back one oil, and hopefully it will work its way in, but they are all just, I think it's because it's so slow moving as well, it doesn't just work its way in. But yeah, what I'll do now is put the covers back on, and then we can start on seeing what the brakes do. Whether I'll do that on camera, I don't know, but yeah, brakes done, new bearings in, door seal is done, so it does seal a little bit better. You'll never get it completely watertight because it's a donut spreader, not a tank one. Do not try this at home. I am a professionally trained idiot. Do not recreate what you see in this video. Now, just for filming purposes, I've put those ones in, but I will go and get some new ones. I don't have any at the minute. You get the idea. So I got the wheel off and I discovered what the problem was. It was that these two grease nipples weren't taking grease because the bush in here was spinning inside this eyelet. So it basically just completely seized on that. Neither of us knew that there was a grease nipple on this one. It's right at the back, which is stupid. So what I've done is drilled down through that one to make a new hole and put as much grease as I can in it, and it now, well, it does move freely, but I think it will be a problem for another day to sort it properly because farmer wants his spreader back basically. And on the other side is pretty much the same thing. I didn't bother taking the wheel off because I thought, well, I'll have a look, see what it is. If it is the same thing, then let him know. And it was. So yeah, basically that is this done now. Put the wheel back on and then I'll pull it outside. Now those chains have been oiled. See the wobbler door working there. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one. Don't try that at home.